as much as we all like to rip on men, this is time to take some accountability.
I think it's like 50-50.
I'm sorry, I'm not articulating.
Because you're always going to have a market, you're always going to have a supply.
Because people are still, they wouldn't be able to sell it if people didn't buy it. So yeah, that's true.
I just kind of looked at it. The market
because that would like there wouldn't be.
Sell it. You're right. Like you are correct. If there's no demand, there's no supply.
Yes, exactly.
I agree that that's true. But what's easier to control? Is it easier to control the pusher, or is it easier to control the millions of consumers? Which one's easier to regulate?
I feel like
it's definitely easier to regulate the dealer, and there's no doubt about that.
Like sometimes though, if you think about it, like people are gonna want it anyways, and somehow they're gonna find a way to get it no matter what. If something really wants something.
Then why have any law?
We're also kind of talking about a
hang on, let her respond. Why have any law then? If it is the case that people will just break them.
What do you mean by that though? Like
why have any, if it is the case that you're saying, if you regulate this, people will do it anyway, then you could make that example for any law which exists on the books. Why have any law?
For example, like it's like the vapes, right? Like the flavored vapes, like they banned it, right? But now they're still selling it, but now they're even faker. They're worse for you. Like, because no matter what, people are going to want it. So it's like if people just try to stop it altogether, it's just somehow, some way people are going to find out. Like, for example, marijuana.
Yeah, but hang on. Let's go one step at a time here, because you didn't actually answer the question. If it is the case that you're saying, Andrew, listen, the reason you don't want to regulate this is because, hey, people will want it anyway. There'll still be a demand. I actually agree that that's true. There will still be a demand for it. But couldn't you make that case with any law that exists?
I would say so. Like, I mean.
So then why have laws at all?
Facts, but that's what I mean by like just in general, like marijuana, right? Like the reason they legalized it was because people were gonna do it no matter, they were gonna keep arresting them or whatever. The reason they legalized it was because a lot of the times people are
Final thoughts on this, please.
No.
Hang on. The reason they legalized marijuana was because there was huge NGOs pushing for it who knew that once they taxed it, pushed it out to the public, it would spread and the consumption would spread. Hang on.
People can enjoy Fenty, and
I don't even think you believe this. Should you just do things that make you feel good?
No, not all the time, but I feel like if it's something.
Why not?
Well, because I don't know, like you don't always have to do everything that you like to do, but I'm just saying if
you don't have to, but why shouldn't you? Why shouldn't you just always do things that make you feel good?
Well, I mean, if you can make like a living off of it and it's like something that you're like using instead of going to like an 9 to 5, freaking working for somebody else, that's just not even considering like how you are as a person.
Hang on.
Why don't you find a talent, something that you enjoy doing, a job that you really love? That isn't 9 to 5.
This is all a deviation. Wait. This is all a deviation.
Sorry, Andrew.
Why shouldn't you only do things that make you feel good?
Because they can be morally corrupt.
I'm asking her. Why do you think that you shouldn't just do everything that makes you feel good?
Well, I feel like at the end of the day, like you can do what you want. Like if that's what makes me feel good, then I feel like I can do that.
You can tell she had no boundaries growing up. That's why it's so hard for her to understand the simple concept of you can't do everything that feels good.
It's a choice. It's a choice.
So then you should do things that make you feel good, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so what if somebody died and donated their body to a necrophiliac to have sex with, and it made the necrophiliac feel good?
Well, that's not me though, so that's not like I wouldn't have anything to say about that.
But you wouldn't have. Hang on.
Wait, so you'd be okay with that?
No, I'm not saying that I'd be okay with that.
Let me finish the question. So a guy dies, donates his body to a necrophiliac, and it makes the necrophiliac feel good, right? Why shouldn't he do that?
Well, because that's wrong, but I'm not saying what I'm doing is wrong. I don't think that doing OnlyFans is wrong. So
why is it wrong if it makes him feel good?
Well, because it's that's different though. It's different. I'm not doing things that are hurting other people or being disgusting or doing that.
Who is he hurting?
He's hurt. That's literally, if you're doing that to somebody, that's still hurting them. They still were a person. That still was a person though. So my choice of feeling good isn't doing things to other people.
They donated their body to him to do it.
Okay, well, I don't know about that, so I have nothing to say for that.
You don't know if that's wrong?
Well, yes, it's wrong, but
Why?
I'm saying that
Why is that
That's
wrong if it makes him
consent.
feel good?
that's not.
The
He
body's
said
not consented,
He
right?
they donated.
It's disrespectful to the family of the person who's
How
passed
can it be
away.
disrespectful?
Well, I would hope
He
no
has
one would do
family.
that,
He has
so-
no family.
Well, people do
He has
that.
zero
I know, but
family.
that is wrong. But I'm not doing that, so
Yeah, but why is it wrong though? If it
because
makes him
it's
feel good.
disgusting.
Because-
and that's
well,
fucking
okay,
terrible.
then I agree because it's disgusting. So OnlyFans is disgusting.
No.
Therefore, it's wrong.
Gotcha, bitch.
I don't feel like it's disgusting, but that's like I said,
Well, I
different
mean,
opinions.
as long as it's disgusting and that's what makes it wrong, I could use that argument against homosexuality. I could use that argument against OnlyFans. I could use that argument against anything that I find disgusting.
Checkmate.
You could just say it's wrong. It's morally wrong, right?
And that's his opinion, and he's entitled to that.
That's what I'm
opinion
saying.
and
Yeah,
that
exactly.
belief.
Everybody
Well,
has
no, that
different
wouldn't even be
opinions.
my opinion. That would just be a logical breakdown. So
Okay.
if it is the case that things that make you feel good are right, if I give you this scenario where this thing makes this guy feel good, he's not hurting anybody else, tell me why it's wrong.
I think it's just everybody's opinion is that
That's
it's
just not right.
everybody's opinion that this is wrong. So it'd be individual.
Just
But
it's
if
just
you're
all
wrong-
different.
Just like everybody's opinion that pornography, such as OnlyFans, is wrong.
For
Is it
people's
your
opinion, because some
Spence?
people probably would say that isn't wrong, and those people are weird. But I'm saying that is wrong. But it's like it's just a choice of what other people perceive.
Yeah, I know you keep saying it's wrong, but if I go off your standard of do what makes you feel good, right? Because that's how you know something's right.
But I'm not hurting anybody in the process.
Neither is he. Neither is he. Who's he hurting?
He's hurting the family.
What if the family's
of the
okay with it?
His body
deceased.
has no family.
Daddy Brian. Yeah, baby. That's a way to change the conversation.
Because this is really important that you guys understand this, or at least where I'm coming from here.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Let's say that a person was alive who his dream after he died was to donate his body to some guy to have sex with it after he was dead.
Nasty bitch.
That's his dream. That's all he thinks about all day. That he loves the very idea of this. And then he dies and donates his body to some other guy, and that guy does that every single day.
Well, it's like
that would be
Hang
his
on,
choice.
hang on, let me finish. I just want to know if there's no family, there's no objections, there's no nothing, why would that be wrong?
well, what if, it's like no one like talks about what if this, what if that. Like, I don't know that this isn't something that's reality right now that I could see in front of me, so I have no answer for that.
But based off your logic you said before, if it's disgusting, it's wrong. So it should apply to this also.
To be honest with you,
Why would
because
it-
it's
wait,
a
hang on,
what if
I'm sorry.
opportunity.
Is somebody getting murdered in front of you right
No,
now?
so both of them are consenting to that, right? The guy that
That's
passed
right, they're
away
both
is
consenting
consenting, and the other guy is consenting. So
Yeah.
in their world, in their minds, they are not doing wrong, right? It would
All
be
right, but in your mind, are they doing wrong?
in
Yes.
my mind, yes, but that's my
Why,
opinion.
though? Why?
I
have no clue.
I
You don't
think
know? You don't
again
know why?
this,
Just
this
been in, like-
becomes a society thing and society's
There's a lot.
opinions, and that's why
I
so
don't
many
think thinking
people
about
think
things like that,
OnlyFans
honestly.
is wrong.
That's
I'm
disgusting.
not-
Now you understand, though, why
Yeah.
it is
Yeah.
that if it is the case that I get society on my side to say OnlyFans is wrong and we outlaw it, you can't really have any objections to it.
Bingo.
Because what you just did was you described that morality comes from the masses. And if that's the case, then anytime a person like me can sway the masses into prescribing something which is bad for you, you can't object to it.
I also don't think that the issue is swaying the masses. I think the issue is swaying the people that are going to be voting on it. And as I said previously, a lot of the people
Masses?
this would all have to go through Congress and the Senate, right?
So, and those people get voted in.
I understand, but you can admit too that there's a lot of time they don't represent the constituency that they claim to be representing.
Yeah, a lot of times they represent NGOs and not the constituency.
They represent
but they still have
NGOs.
to get in there. They still have to get in there, right?
That's true, but they represent NGOs and they represent a lot of time their own personal things that they want, whether it's moving up in the political ladder, and they have to try and square the circle
I know
of
Brian wants to
banning
move on.
corn.
We can move it on now, Brian. I just want to finish the point.
Brian has had
Fine.
enough.
I know.
He just wants to. And Brian, are you allowed to have any of that champagne or not?
Jungle says, I messaged him. He said, no champagne, Brian. Thank you for the membership. Why don't we just do this early? Stifler, ask everyone to rate their own looks on a scale of 1 to 10. You can't pick 7. Go ahead, Anya, starting with you.
I'm scared.
7.
6.5.
Okay.
I'll give her a 5.
Chloe?
Like a 6.
I'll give her a 6.5.
I go 6.9, the year of our Lord.
I'll give her a 5.
That was a joke. Sorry.
I'd say like 6.5.
Okay.
I'll give her a 5.5.
I'd say 6.
I'll give her a 4.
You can't pick 7, huh?
Can't pick 7.
That's my favorite number. That's like still not fair. Okay. I'm going to do 6.9.
I'll give her a 5. But I think in her prime, she might have been a 6.
I would say beauty is subjective, so I would say it would fluctuate like up or down. I would say a 5.
I'll give her a 5.5.
6.
Wait, you said it would fluctuate up or down?
Yeah, like
Could it ever be a
depending-
10?
No, like no one is a 10. I think anyone who says they are a 10 is pure delusional, because I think a 10 you have to be like super flawless with absolutely no cosmetic procedures or
Hold
alterations.
on. Do you recall 5 minutes ago when I kindly told you to shut the fuck up?
Oh my God.
Do you remember 5 minutes ago? What did you just do right now?
I forgot what she said, so I was just asking her.
Why would that matter?
Damn, Brian laying down his pimp hand.
Because I think that she's like way more gorgeous than me, so I was just then thinking, oh, right, maybe
But-
I should.
I understand that you're curious, but I just told you, you can't be doing sidebars. She's talking right now. It's rude and disruptive to her for you to be leaning over and whispering. It's bad for the audio quality for the audience. I just told you 5 minutes ago. Now, here's your opportunity. 100 women versus accountability. I'm sorry, I'm not going to do it again. That's all I need.
I'm sorry, I won't do it again.
Thank
Brian.
you. Go ahead.
So yeah, based off of the fluctuating, it would depend on personal preference, beauty standards. Beauty standards are always changing, and I don't think anyone is a 10, because everyone has flaws and imperfections, and it's just a preference at the end of the day.
Lovely. Okay, going back to you. Do you think you'll be better looking in 10 years' time?
Honestly, I think I'm looking now that no. Answer is no. I think I look better now than I will 10 years time.
You're 19. Will you be better looking in 10 years' time at 29?
I would say yes.
20 years' time, 39?
No.
Okay. You're 35. Will you be better looking in 10 years' time at 45?
Absolutely not, but can only hope.
Okay. And are you better looking now at 35 than you were at 25?
Probably less lucky. Yeah, no, I was better at 25, probably.
You're 23. Will you be better looking in 10 years' time at 33?
I would say yes, because I can work on myself, so I could like whatever.
I highly doubt it. If she doesn't hit the gym within 6 years, the wall will come knocking.
feel like I could change.
Are you talking about plastic surgery?
No, just like my body or whatever, like in like 10 years, if I were to be working out consistent,
Okay.
like, like things like that, like it could
Like
change.
fitness?
Yeah.
Okay. What about 20 years' time at 43? Better looking than how you look now?
What did you say? I'm so sorry. 40 and
So you're 23 now.
Yeah.
In 20 years' time at 43, will you be better looking?
I would say yeah, because it's I feel like a lot of times like when you age, like marks and stuff show like the things that you've been through. So I would say I would be more beautiful then, because it shows like the things that I've gone through.
Are you saying that stretch marks, cellulite, and wrinkles will be more attractive to men? Are you sure about that?
Or like that I've lived that long.
Okay. So 30 years time, how about 53? Better looking than now?
Probably now and probably 50,
now.
but it depends because a lot of women that are 50 are nowadays, you can't even tell.
Stop the cap.
So,
Okay.
Yeah.
You're 32, better looking in 10 years time at 42?
Probably not.
Okay. And were you better looking 10 years ago at 22?
Yeah, just because I was more of an athlete. I played sports. I was more in shape.
Okay. You're 44, better looking in 10 years time at 54.
No, I feel like my prime was in between 35 and 40.
Okay. So if we go back, were you better looking at 34?
Oh, yes.
And then were you better looking at 24?
No.
Okay.
I was better looking in my 30s.
All right.
I would say it would depend.
Better looking in 10 years time at
Yeah, it
35?
would depend whether I decide to get like any cosmetic procedures. I'm not against it. So
What do you think, I guess?
I've seen like how people get like facelifts and they look unrecognizable. They don't even show their age. So it's a possibility.
So like you're 25 now, go forward 10 years, you have various flawless plastic surgery procedures.
I'm sure I'd look
better
nice
at 35?
Probably not as good as in our prime 20s. Yeah, it's possible.
Okay, 20 years time, 45, better looking with all these plastic surgery interventions?
No, probably not. We start decaying as time comes.
Okay. Felicity, what about you?
No.
A couple questions here. Are your parents still together? And do you have a good relationship with your father? Go ahead.
My parents are not together. I have a really good relationship with my dad. I know this is rich coming from me, but I honestly think he was the best dad I could ever ask for.
He might have been a great dad, but he failed you. Somehow you got on OnlyFans. And that's every dad's worst case scenario for their daughters.
My parents are married, but me and my daughter are really not close, but I'm really close to my mom.
My mother passed away when I was 18 and my dad died when I was 25. So I don't have a relationship with him anymore. But when he was alive, we were best friends and I miss him every day. And I had a great relationship with my father.
Well, sorry to hear that. What about you?
My parents are still married, and yeah, I have a good relationship with my dad.
What about your mom?
No kidding. Me and my mom are like best friends.
Can you scoot your mic to the edge of the table? Crystal.
And that's the problem. Your mom was your best friend instead of being your mom.
Go ahead.
My parents are divorced. I've talked to both parents.
Okay. What about you?
My parents have never really been together. It was kind of like a one-night stand thing. I actually found my father during COVID through an ancestry DNA test, and he's an amazing, incredible man. And so I'm close with, I talk with both of them. I'm getting to know my dad, but I was raised by my stepdad, but we didn't really have a great relationship. Complicated.
Okay.
My parents are divorced, and I would say I have a closer relationship with my mom.
My dad is dead. I've disowned my mom.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
Oh, baby.
Damn.
Disowned your mom? I didn't see that coming.
Sorry to hear that. My parents are still together. Great relationship with both parents.
Lucky you. I mean it.
Okay, let's get into
my parents are happily married and still together and adore me, and we're just phenomenal, fantastic parents in every capacity you could imagine.
Crystal, you getting into your pre-show notes, you said that your content is very hypocritical. Although I see points you make that are true, you concentrate more on women rather than men, whereas men can be held accountable in relationships as well, and the reason why things don't work out. So your disagreement is you disagree with the views of the roles of women that the host talks about, as it is not realistic in today's society, and believes what he says is hypocritical, as he believes women should stay at home and take care of the kids, but also says women aren't realistic and gold diggers when looking for men making over $100,000. When in reality, a salary of $100,000 a year is the least amount to make when trying to take care of a family financially in California without the woman working.
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't recall I even have ever even used the term gold digger on the show. I do sometimes scoff, though, if a woman who is not particularly remarkable herself wants a man who, say, makes $500,000, which would put him in the top 1%. I think that's unrealistic. If a woman desired a man who makes $100,000 which, while it is above the average income, at least even in California, but throughout most of the rest of the country, 100,000, I don't think is completely unrealistic. It is a man who is starting to get to his way to being a high earner. But I think you're uncharacterizing this a bit unfairly. Most of my criticism rests when these women come on saying they want a man who makes 7 figures, 500,000 plus. And they're, again, like I said, not particularly remarkable in their own right.
I agree. It's not the fact that we think you're gold diggers. No, that's not the problem. It's more about your delusions and what you're asking for and the value that you're actually providing.
That's what I call a chain reaction.
Manifest my own destiny. Sex, drugs, and rock and roll, the perfect recipe. May they remember me, my words will live on. I'm guided by an energy, a flame, hold it close to you. Check out my melodies. Is it the media that's been leading you? I'll show you a thing. Misdirection, what's the message? They don't want you to win.
As much as we all like to rip on men, this is time to take some accountability.